stretching out, okay, and you can basically see the shell. It's got the column in, it's kind of like a shell of an egg, okay?
Hi, I'm Shen and welcome back to my channel at Mama Banana, where I share hacks, tips and fun for mom product reviews. Today I actually wanted to share something different with you. So I've been doing IVF, so I think my journey started about 4.5 years ago, and today I've had my 6th frozen embryo transfer. So I thought I'd talk about my experience and hopefully that may help someone else who is going through the same, so that you know what to expect based on my personal experience. So let's get straight into it. So today is day 22, so the days are counted from the first day of my periods. So the first part of the IVF for me is just taking the Femitab tablets. It's effectively the pill, and I take 3 times a day. No, I take 3 times a day, so it's 3 tablets a day. Then at around day 14, I go in to get an endometrial scan, and they'll let me know if, and I do blood tests, and they'll let me know if the lining, hormones and all seem right. And if it is, from day 14, I start taking the progesterone. It's the estrogen tablets. I take 2 of those twice a day and about 12 hours apart. So it's a vaginal suppository that you pop internally. And then on day 22, which is today, I went in for a frozen embryo transfer. Okay, so this is my 6th frozen embryo transfer. I have had 2 live births, so 4 pregnancies in total. 2 of those pregnancies ended in a miscarriage. So I am trying for a 3rd child. So I've had 2 miscarriages trying for this 3rd baby. So this is our 3rd go for the 3rd baby. So for today, normally I would pop in my estrogen tablet around midday. So I do 12 and 12. So I like to do one 12 midday and then one around 12 just at bedtime. My transfer was at 2 o'clock. I didn't take the midday estrogen. Obviously follow your own guidance, your own protocol, but didn't take that tablet, I guess, to keep the area clear for easy entry. And I went in half an hour before my transfer time. In terms of preparation, there was nothing to prepare. I just made sure I was showered on the day. It's not something that they require, but obviously I'd be a lot less self-conscious if I am freshly showered just beforehand. No perfumes, no nail polish. That's all what I was instructed to do. I'm not sure if they feel that the chemicals could affect this very sensitive nature of the tiny little embryo being moved from one place to the next. But I go into the clinic and then I had to change into the theatre outfits, the ones where your ass and all is hanging out. Kept my top on, so I just take off my knickers, my pants, put on the robe, put on a hairnet, and then they give me these little hotel-like throwaway slippers. They're so funny with the slippers. When I'm in the theatre, if any of the slippers pop off, which I don't really care about, they go straight on to put the slippers on my feet to make sure my feet are warm. I think it's so cute, and it's quite endearing, really. It's because it's the least of my concerns. Actually, when I'm parking in the car park, I'm roughly 40 minutes away from the actual transfer. I take a Valium. Now, for my first few transfers, I was sedated via IV. That is not the norm, but I just get really nervous. There's really nothing to be nervous about because everyone's so kind and the procedure is very fast, but I personally get extremely nervous with all of this type of stuff. So on a personal side note, it's only my own personal thing, but as a child I was beaten quite badly by my mother, where I'm not allowed to flinch or move. I have to stay still to be beaten. So like any of these situations where I cannot move or like that, I get really scared. So I was sedated the first few times, but because they have to sedate me via IV, that just made me more nervous. So they prescribed a Valium this time, and I highly recommend requesting for something like that if you would get nervous in that type of situation, or if you feel anxiety towards that situation. It just relaxes me a lot, and just makes the whole process so much easier, because if you're more relaxed, then it just makes it much easier for the doctors and nurses to help pop in the embryo. Okay. Oh, and the other thing is, I had to go in with a full bladder. I guess a full bladder helps push, I don't know, the uterus or whatever out, so that they can see what they need to see, pop in the embryo. Normally, my husband would be allowed into the theatre, but of course during COVID he wasn't allowed in. But this time around he was allowed into the pre-theatre waiting room. The last time around he wasn't even allowed in to the pre-theatre waiting room, so I guess that's a plus. So if it's something that your partner would like to be a part of, then you need to check with your clinic if they are generally allowed into the theatre. So I go into the pre-theatre waiting room, and the nurse goes through everything with me, how I need to be behaving as if I am pregnant after the transfer. So no alcohol, no smoking, all the general stuff, take it easy, rest up and all that. And answer, if I have any questions, she'll answer it there and then. But otherwise I get myself ready, and then they bring me into the theatre, and they will get the embryo ready, and they'll bring it up on a screen to show me, and which is actually really nice. So the embryo I had today was a 2-2. So Beacon Care Fertility, they grade the embryo, and a 2-2 is supposedly quite good. And
so see here, that's it hatching out, okay, and you can vaguely see the shell. It's called the zona. It's kind of like a shell of an egg, okay. Yeah. That's where it's hatching out of. So the part here that's hatching out is the inner cell mass, and that's the part that becomes the baby down the line, fingers crossed, okay? And the rest of it, those cells here, and then all around the edges there, they're called trophectoderm cells, and they're the ones that become the placenta down the line. Okay. So it looks really nice at the moment, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that's the look, okay?
A monitor over here that the doctors look at, and they can see how they insert the embryo, and it's something that I can watch as well. As far as I'm concerned, I really can't see anything. All I see is a big black shadow and then a tiny little white line going through. I'll try to insert it down here so you can see. The process takes about 5 minutes, but I lie down, have my legs open, and then they remove the little blanket that they cover on me, and they put a smaller blanket with a hole in the center so that I'm not as fully exposed. To be honest, by that stage I don't really care, because once you've seen down there, what's the matter about everything else? But so they put this other thick blanket on you where there's only a rectangle open, and then the embryologist, or then the doctor, will have everything ready. They'll put the little duckbill vaginal opening thing inside you. It's exactly like getting a smear test, so you just feel discomfort and pressure down there, and then once everything is set up there, then the embryologist will come out with the embryo on this big long like dropper tool. Obviously there is a fancy medical term for it, I don't know what it is, and they will pop it right in, and then you're done. So I would say it feels like it's around 3 to 5 minutes that the duckbill vaginal opening tool is inserted. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but it is not painful, and it's all very tolerable, especially with the Valium that I have to help relax me. I am quite relaxed. The only thing is the full bladder is a bit uncomfortable as well with all of that. If your bladder is too full, what I've done before, because this is my 7th go at this, the first being for harvesting. If the bladder is too full and it's quite uncomfortable, I do ask them if I can go to relieve myself a bit. So when the bladder is too full, I just go to the bathroom and do a quick wee to release some of it and then stop. Stopping then is the hardest thing, but once you come away and you lie down again, it's a lot more comfortable. So it's very hard to kind of do a part way and stop, but making sure that your bladder is still full and then stop and going back to lying down, it makes the rest of the process a lot more comfortable. If there's anything that they can do to make you more comfortable, I wouldn't be afraid to ask them. It's paying a huge sum of money and they're there to help you and help you have a baby. So obviously, and there's anything that you think could make you a bit more comfortable and won't delay things, then I wouldn't be afraid to ask. So after the transfer, they wheel me back into the same pre-teeter waiting room where I lie down for 10 minutes. But since I've missed my time for the estrogen, I always actually bring it with me if it's in around that time, and it usually is around that time for me. And I go to the bathroom, empty my bladder, and then I pop in the estrogen tablets. It just feels, they've never said this, but for me it feels like it's a good thing to do because it makes everything a bit tacky or whatever. It feels like by popping these in after a transfer, it might help with success rate. I don't know if that helps, but I'm supposed to lie down for 10 minutes after, but because I've popped in my estrogen tablets, I go and lie down for 20 minutes afterwards, and then head home and take it easy. So there's nothing else to do now but keep taking all the medications that I'm taking, and in 2 weeks time, I'm given an exact date, in 2 weeks time I will take a pregnancy test, and fingers crossed it will come out positive. See, everything is based on my own personal experience, so I am not an expert, I'm not a scientist, I don't read up much on it because there's just too much information out there. But if you have any questions, please do ask and I will answer to the best of my ability. I think the most important thing when going through IVF is try to stay positive no matter what the outcome, and try to talk to someone else who's been through it. I think a lot of times if you can be open about it, it really helps. I've never kept it a secret. I've always been very vocal that all my 2 girls have been conceived through IVF, and because I've been open about it, a lot of other women have been very open to me about it, and it's shocking how many women have gone through IVF. By talking about it, it normalizes it, and it's just, I think when you can't talk about it, it makes it a bit harder because you can't share, and it's such a roller coaster emotional journey. It makes it harder keeping it all inside, where you can only talk about it to just your partner or 1 or 2 best friends. To me, I find it easier to let it out and just say everything and share everything. And I think, or at least I hope it helps other women by sharing to help manage the expectations, so that you know what to expect when you're expecting to be expecting via IVF. Again, if you would like more information on anything, or me to do a video to cover anything else, let me know. If you'd like to follow my IVF journey, then you can find me on Instagram at SoMamaBanana. I post all my updates there because I do like to share. I like to put all the miscarriage information out there, all the IVF journey out there, to normalize it. And if you are going through your IVF journey, I'd love to hear what stage you're at. Just share with me in the comments down below. Wish you all the very best. I do actually have some tips and tricks around the IVF, how to be a bit more comfortable with all the discharge, how to remember to take all the tablets so that you don't miss any. if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments down below and I'll put together another quick video. So anyway, best of luck on your IVF baby journey, and I wish everyone the best possible happiness. Stay safe, wash your hands. Thank you and goodbye.